bags bustin', come in, hoe and bust it. If you try, we bustin'. I don't do it, bust money bustin', bitches bustin', start a fucking fussin'. We gon' up it, we gon' bust it, it ain't no discussion. Big bags bustin', come in, hoe and bust it.
Hey, what's going on? It's your girl, TampaMystic, and we are live on the Industry's Most Wanted podcast.
Industry's Most Wanted.
I got my homie in the building. Jon Banks, what's going on, bro?
What's good? What's good?
Oh, let me get your mic popped up. Go ahead.
What's up? What's up?
Hey, man, it's a pleasure to have you here. It's been a little minute, you know what I'm saying? Good to see you. Give me some love. Boom.
Been a while.
Yeah, it has been a minute, but you know, without further ado, man, let everybody know who is Jon Banks.
Jon Banks. I'm an artist, engineer. I work with Gucci Mane, J Money, a lot of people back in the day. Restarting my music career right now. Just getting back to it.
Most definitely. Well, we got a lot to talk about, you know what I'm saying? You've been doing this for a little minute. And not only have you been doing it for a little minute, you also dive into multiple things, which is important. In this music industry or any business, you can't just do one thing, right? So what came first?
Poetry.
Okay.
Came first.
Okay.
At Apache.
About what age?
Well, that was like the start of my music career. So that's like, I was like maybe 18.
Okay.
Before that, it was ciphers at like 15 years old.
So you was out there tearing them apart at them ciphers?
Yeah.
You got bars?
Yeah, it was nice. We weren't like battle rapping. I was organizing battle rapping.
Yeah.
But I was doing ciphers and people just coming together and just writing.
Yeah.
Rapping.
Was it here in the Atlanta area?
Yeah, Decula.
Oh, in Decula. Okay,
Yeah,
most definitely,
Gwinnett.
definitely. Okay, so you from the north side?
You could say that. I was born in Decatur. It was back and forth. I went to school in Gwinnett.
Okay, so you kind of grew up out in Gwinnett and went to school and stuff. I heard that's dope.
Yeah,
that's really dope, man. So, so you took poetry and turned it into music.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Lyrical music.
Yeah. Talk to us about the start of that. How was the transition? Because I do a lot of conversations with artists who say that they transition from poetry into doing music. How was that transition for you?
The transition came from when I started performing the poetry. Like Apache. When I went to Apache, I wanted to do poetry.
Okay.
And they would just kind of like force you. They'll just have a live band and they'll play music.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know
You talking about the cafe, right? Okay,
Right.
Got you.
They'll just play music and I was like, hold on, like I could just start rapping more and put this on there. So that's how that transition
Kind of like spoken word.
Correct.
Yes, which I think is so dope. I love the way spoken word is done and recited because it's like, to me, it's almost between poetry and music. It's kind of that go in between. You know what I'm saying? Like the way people actually recite it. I think that's dope. So when you first started doing music, what were you talking about?
Deep stuff. Like, cause I listened to Tupac, so I made stories about like I like redid the Brenda Got a Baby story before.
Yeah.
Love. Like childhood stuff that I was going through.
Yeah.
It was mainly just real life stuff.
Because you were fairly young at that age, so you probably hadn't experienced a ton.
Yeah.
So you had to talk about what you've experienced.
Yeah. What I've seen and what somebody else told me.
Right, exactly. I think that's what a lot of young artists do. You know, they talk about either what they've seen or whatever until you actually have real life experience. So fast forward, you know, with any music that you may be creating now, is the sound different? Is it the same? You know, talk to us about that.
It's definitely different. Because I know when I started performing at your shows, I was doing trap music.
Yeah,
so
right.
It was a big, so it's changed since then too. I do both, but now it's like a better mixture.
Yeah.
It's like I'm becoming more of an artist.
You becoming more marketable.
Yeah.
Is really what it is, and I think that's important as a musician. You have to have multiple sounds. You got to be able to deliver and cater to a lot of people if that's what your goal is, to put your brand out to the world. So you got to have something for the ladies, something for the fellas, something for the streets, something for the strip clubs, you know, and then some pain music mixed in there. You got to have a little bit of everything. When did engineering come into place?
Well, actually, when Lily opened up the studio, that's when I just got. I mean, my relationships with other people, they wanted to do features with me, so I don't like people engineering me. So
Right,
I'm like,
because nobody can get your sound probably the way you want it.
so you want to do a feature and you want a session? I might as well just
Yeah,
become an engineer.
absolutely.
So that's where that came in.
Because that can become a moneymaker for you too.
It has.
It saves you money because you're not having to outsource your engineering to other people. You're going to get the sound that you want.
Correct.
Because it's hard to explain to somebody a sound, right? You know what I'm saying? You can give them a reference track, but only you really know how you want your sound to be. And it's a moneymaker for you.
Yeah, it's been great.
So let's talk about that just a little bit, because now you understand the other side of it. You know, you were an artist for a long time. Now you've, dived into doing the engineering side. What's that experience been like for you?
It's been great. I barely spent any money on music recording. Like that's like one of the, I'm not gonna say it's the most important part, but you gotta have that. It kind of changed my life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It helped me with my music business.
Yeah.
Like it's been great actually.
Yeah. I think it's important for every artist at some point they need to learn how to at least at a minimum record themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, get you a little setup at the crib if you have to, get you a little creative space, get you a decent mic, some Pro Tools, and at least learn how to record yourself. And then you can always send it off for the mix and master, because that's going to save a lot of money. We're not trying to take business from the studios, obviously, because I work for one and my girl over here got one. But, a lot of artists can't afford to always be in the studio all the time. You know what I'm saying? So have you been engineering for a lot of other artists?
Yeah, a lot.
So let's talk about that. Can we talk about that for just a minute? When an artist comes to the studio, and maybe it's your first time working with them, and they're coming in there for a session, what's the proper etiquette that an artist needs to have when they coming in that studio to work with you?
I mean, many haven't had it. Like a flash drive, some beats your beats already ready. A lot of people come like, I'm like, you got beats? No, just pull up YouTube. Like, hold on, like, so.
Oh no, yeah.
You know your time about to start right now, so you're gonna look for beats in your time. I mean, all right, if that's what you want to do, but
right. If your session's from 8 to midnight, the clock starts at 8 p.m. It don't start at 8:30 once you found your beat.
Right, correct.
So have that together. So yeah, that's good right there. Tips: have a flash drive, have your beats on them ready to go.
If you drinking, have your liquor. You don't gotta leave the seat. You don't have to come and be like, is there a liquor store around? Like,
yeah, and don't be asking the people that work at the studio to go to store for you. We are not there to do store runs.
We do that too.
I've had people hit me up with that, and I like kind of snapped at them. I'm like, I am not here to do your store runs. You should have did that on the way here.
Right.
Have you met any other artists, that you potentially want to work with since you started engineering?
Yeah.
Anybody you care to talk about?
Asian doll. She came to our studio before.
Okay, that's big. What was it like being in the studio working with her?
I actually didn't work with her.
Yeah, but you got to meet her there.
Yeah, I met her.
Yeah. That's dope, man. Like, and that's the beautiful thing about being in the studio setting, is that you never know who might come through there for a session that you can connect with.
Right.
I was for a while, I was managing producer Shawty Fresh, and he started out working at Hot Beats Engineering as well. But a lot of people didn't know he made beats. So that's how he got a lot of the placements he did with Trouble and 21 Savage and Gucci Mane, and the list goes on, because they would come through there to record, and he'd be like, by the way, I make beats too. You know what I'm saying? You got to shoot your shot sometimes. Right. Besides, engineering, besides creating great music, any other business ventures that you're tapping into?
Well, yeah, moving. I just started a moving service.
Yeah.
Like literally like 2 weeks ago. I'm doing that.
That's what I'm talking about. You staying busy and active. What areas do you guys cover?
Right now I'm working with somebody that they do like Roswell, and so I'm thinking about doing that area, like Roswell.
Yeah. There's some nice homes up in Roswell, shoot.
Cumming.
Yep.
Marietta, Alpharetta, Atlanta is.
No, you ain't even got to say no more. I get it. Because I'm in Lawrenceville, and I a lot of times, because I like to hike and stuff like that, I head up to Cumming and Roswell and, hit some of the trails out there. And there's some beautiful homes out there. Mm-hmm. So I don't blame you.
The moving jobs, they're easier. The people tip better. They're like, they come on, they be there on time. There's like, when I go to Atlanta, and it's like, I do a job, and they like live on the 13th floor. You gotta book the elevator.
Yeah, to bring all the stuff down.
Yeah, like it's just extra. I'm like, I don't know if I'm.
You're like, no, because you really would have to charge a lot to make it make sense for you to accommodate that. Right. What made you decide to start that business?
I was doing it with somebody else.
Yeah.
And I just kind of figured out. Somebody was like, you just need to start your own thing. I'm like, I think you all right.
Nah, for real. So I mean, is it just fairly easy? Just get your LLC and maybe your business license, and boom, you're ready to go.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Because like the trucks, you don't have to own a truck. You can rent a truck.
Yeah, you can rent a truck for sure.
Yeah, so
that's probably the way to go in the beginning anyway.
Yeah, and have workers. I mean,
yeah.
If you paying the same day, you always gonna have workers.
Nah, for real, big facts. There's a lot of people who want that same day pay.
Yeah,
most definitely. How does all this tie in together? It sounds like you're busy. You got a moving company now. You're engineering. You're an artist. I'm sure you've got family and other stuff. How do you manage your work-life balance?
How do I manage it? I mean, I really don't know, and I really haven't felt like the full effect of it. Like I said, I just started engineering.
Yeah.
I just started doing a moving company, and I'm just now getting back to music. So
yeah.
I'm filling out the balance, like literally, like right now.
About 6 months, you're gonna be like, whew, right. It's a lot going on.
But I just know I gotta do it if I'm trying to progress in life.
Absolutely. So. With you having so many things that you're working on and that you're doing, which one would you say is like your top passion?
Engineering, music.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. Music and engineering it's my top passion.
Yeah.
Just anything with music.
Right.
But the moving thing is, it's not like I would stop doing it, but I definitely would like pull back from it as much as I am in it now. Like, I wouldn't be working. I'll be, like, sending the workers.
Right, because I think a moving company is the kind of business that even if you had to stop doing it for 6 months, you could jump right back into it and you're good.
Correct.
Music doesn't work like that.
You got to keep going.
You got to keep going because when you take them long breaks, it's almost like starting all over again.
No, yeah, it is.
So, yeah, like sometimes you have to put some stuff to the back seat, but at the same time that the moving company now is probably going to help fund a lot of your music stuff.
Yeah, that's the best part about it.
Yeah. So what made you decide to like step back and then come back into music, if you don't mind sharing?
Step back. It was a lot of business situations wasn't right. A lot of people I was hanging around wasn't right. How I was doing certain stuff, it just wasn't right. So I had to like step back and like make some personal changes.
Yeah.
So that's really what it was about. But I always recorded music. Like I have more than enough music.
Yeah.
I just wasn't ready to just get back out there.
So through all those changes and transitions that you made, like what was that biggest lesson that you learned during that time?
My biggest lesson, just watch the company you keep. That was the biggest one.
That's a major one.
I used to be around a lot of people. I literally don't like being around a lot of people.
Me neither. Like, Slick, the older I get, that's why I don't even do showcases no more, to be honest. And I'm very transparent about it. Like, I get social anxiety now. I never did. Like, back in the day, this is something that just like probably came about like in the last couple years. Like now, if I'm in a crowd of people I don't know, I get like this anxiety coming over me. So I'm just like, I get it. Now I'm like, I keep stuff as low key as possible. You know what I'm saying? Because I like to feel comfortable all the time. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So are you working? I know you said you got a lot of music in the vault. You know what I'm saying? You didn't stop recording and stuff. Do you have anything particular in the works musically?
I mean, I was in a little independent deal, so I've dropped videos, like 3 videos in the last year. Yeah. I just dropped a video like a couple months ago. Yeah. Right now I'm working on a EP, a project.
Okay.
Supposed to be dropping that by the end of the year. So that's the main thing I'm doing right now.
Is all the songs for it already like recorded?
Oh yeah, definitely.
You're just tweaking them now with the mixes and stuff?
Yeah, mastering and like trying to pick between. I'm picking between like 30 tracks, and I'm trying to get it down to like 10.
Yeah, trying to narrow that down is probably the tough part.
Yeah, and trying to see like if I take these 10, will the other 20 go together somehow?
Right, exactly. Because you want the project to be well-rounded. You want it to kind of make sense. You want all the songs to vibe together. You want a variety, but you want them to still vibe together.
Correct.
Most definitely. What are some of the other like things that, you got a lot going on, but is there other things that you aspire to do, before we clock out of this earth? What else you want to do? What's on your bucket list?
A label.
Okay.
A label. Yeah, label. That's like one of the main things.
Yeah. So kicking off an independent label.
Yeah.
That's fire.
Yeah, I want to do that. I think I'll step back from music a little bit.
Absolutely, because now you can step back and utilize all the knowledge and the stuff that you learned to help somebody else get in a position.
Correct. Yeah.
And I think that's what a lot of artists do. I know you're still young, but I think a lot of artists, as they get a little bit older, they want to stop, necessarily they don't want to put albums out all the time, but they want to still be involved in the music business. So that's what they do. Like you look at the Gucci's and the 2 Chainz and, the list goes on. Like they still will do music, but now they're in a position where they're helping other artists with everything that they've gained throughout this music business.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Eventually. Yeah, but I'm definitely still trying to. Right now, I'm focusing on my music. I know I'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
I'm not putting the time on it because I know how music works. It was there's been plenty of times I'm like, oh, this is it. I'm about to make it.
Yeah.
And, I just know it's a process.
It is a process. It takes a very long time. Like, my OG, shout out Bigger Rankin, I remember him telling me when I first started working with him forever ago, he said that it really takes about 10 years before you're actually understanding the business and getting seasoned with it. That's just kind of like really getting started 10 years in, because there's so much to learn. And this is the type of business that's always changing.
Yeah.
Changed a lot. What would you say has been the most positive change that you've seen within music since you started?
Positive change?
Yeah. If any.
Yeah. It got worse. If you ask me, it got worse.
Elaborate. Like what would you, if you could switch anything back in particular, you know what I'm saying? What would that be for you?
One thing that annoys me about music now is that it's like every song is sampling something. Like,
yeah, there is a lot of that going on.
The songs are now songs that were like songs that I knew when I was younger.
Right, absolutely.
It's not songs that I don't know.
Right. They're not being as creative because they're using someone else's magic.
Yeah.
Really.
So that's annoying. So then it's like, okay, that's the way. So if I want to make a hit, then I need to do that too.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It's one of those things, it's a bittersweet. 2 Chainz said in one of his interviews that I was watching, he said, really, because, he's been in this business a long time, and 2 Chainz is now in his 40s, he's doing his thing. But he said, you got to get on board or get left behind.
Yeah.
And that's really what it boils down to. Like, it's a fine line between keeping it true to yourself, but still staying relevant to what's going on in the world right now.
Yeah. So that's basically just getting on that beat and just rapping how you rap.
What about what I've also noticed is that songs are getting shorter and shorter and shorter.
Yeah.
What is your thoughts about that? Like now some songs are a minute, some change.
I don't really have an issue with that unless it depends on who it is.
Yeah. Somebody you might not want to hear for 4 or 5 minutes.
That's fine. Just go ahead and make that song 1:30.
Right. I think for these brand new artists, they need to keep it in that lane.
Yeah.
Right. If you're a Wayne or a Drake or somebody like that, you can put out a 4 or 5 minute song and people gonna listen all the way through.
Yeah.
But you Joe Schmo down the block just coming out, you know what I'm saying? You better keep that at 1.5 2 minutes.
One verse, just one verse in the hook.
Right, exactly.
That's it.
That's it. That is it. So it's safe to say that you're engineering all your music now?
Oh yeah, definitely. Everything.
So if we listen to the music that you're engineering now of yours versus what someone else was doing, would we hear a difference?
I don't know. I don't really compare my music to other. I don't even like when I'm making music. I don't even listen to other people's music.
No, I'm talking about like
the quality.
If I listen to a Jon Banks song back in the day that someone else engineered versus something you made today that you engineered, would you say that?
Oh yeah, definitely.
We'd hear a difference.
Yeah.
Because you're able to capture the sound that you want.
Yeah.
Most
Back then when somebody, I've always been like this with my engineers. We make music together.
Right.
So that's a sound that they was trying to create for me and we was creating together.
Right.
But when I'm doing it by myself, it's just a sound that I'm creating.
Do you prefer to work by yourself when you're creating your music?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
I got a couple engineers. First off, you have to be a producer to engineer my music.
Right, because they got to understand how to actually create music.
If I'm working with you, I want to be able to work on a whole song.
Right, they can make the beat.
Yeah, I don't want nobody that just an engineer.
Right.
So
let's talk about that. Is that something that you're dabbling into, making beats?
I've tried.
You got to be that person that you want them to be.
Yeah, I tried once, but
But hold on, can I stop you right there? You can't try it, bro. You just got to do it.
yeah, I know. I just didn't want to like at that point people started asking for like mixing and mastering.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hold on, let me focus on this first.
Right. Let me master this first.
Yeah. So I didn't want to start doing beats, and then I'm like,
I
don't
understand.
got this.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
Yeah. I'm like, nah. Then I might be like, oh, I'm working on both, and then they might be like, oh, well, I'll get it from somewhere else.
Right. Understood. No, I'm just messing with you. But no, I think that's something that you could definitely add to your lineup at some point in time.
Yeah. I'm definitely thinking about that.
Yeah, getting into production and stuff like that. Any artists that you've collabed with lately?
A lot. Lily, she's an artist too.
Oh, okay,
Lily
dope.
Nichols. Fly Goon. I don't know if you know Fly Goon. Who else have I collabed with?
Are you talking about Moot Boy?
Nah, his name is Javinci.
Oh, okay.
Most of my features are old, like Salma Slams,
Yeah, I interviewed her not too long ago.
Valley Baby.
I interviewed her not too long ago. Shout out to my ladies.
Yeah, I had Losa, Queen Losa.
Okay, I haven't interviewed her yet, but I'm gonna add her to my list.
And I don't know. Yeah, those are the main features I have in my art in my collection.
Yeah, that's dope, man. It sounds like you got a lot going on. For the people that are supporting the movement, you know, they on board. You know, you got a beautiful young lady here with you tonight. What you want to say to those people that are supporting you?
You said what I want to say?
Yeah, what do you want to say to them? Because, you know, we got to give people their flowers while they here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I definitely appreciate people that's been staying down, especially.
Yeah.
Like all the stuff I've been going through. So, yeah, I'm definitely appreciative of that.
Yeah.
I'm glad they stayed around.
Yeah.
They're definitely loyal.
Right.
I got a good little handful.
And it's hard to find that. And as we spoke just a couple minutes ago, I think the older we get, the smaller our circle becomes.
Yeah.
Not everybody's meant to go along with you on your journey. And that's cool. They do. Yeah. They do. And the sad part is some of the people you think that's going to be the ones there forever be the ones that jump ship, but that's cool. Bye.
The main ones.
Bye. Most definitely. You know, any new artists that are coming into this, you got a little homie coming up. What you going to tell him about this music business? What would be the words of wisdom that you would provide him?
Be patient and like keep going. You got to stay focused. And like, even like, I don't know, like music is like one of them things, like even when you have like personal problems in your life, like that's really when you're supposed to like push hard.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's not like when you have those problems, it's not supposed to like discourage you.
Right.
It's really supposed to like motivate you.
It's supposed to fuel you and motivate you. And you're absolutely right. There's quite a few artists and even like other people in the industry that I speak to about that. They said when bad stuff happens into their life, they turn to music. That's their outlet.
Yeah, I do that.
Yeah.
But I wasn't doing that, but I learned.
Yeah. I mean, everybody handles stuff differently. Right. So music is definitely your passion. Mm-hmm. What would you say is your purpose?
Through music.
Yeah.
To help other people.
Yeah.
Like whether it's like what I'm saying, mainly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, mainly what I'm saying.
I ask you that because that's exactly what I feel. Because think about everything you do. You're helping somebody through your music.
Correct.
You're engineering their music, so you're helping them in that aspect. You're moving their furniture. You're helping them in that aspect. That's your purpose, is to help other people out here. That's how God's going to continue to bless you, though, is because you're a blessing to other people. Mm-hmm. You know,
that's crazy because I go to church at Victory, and they say they said the same thing.
Okay, that's dope. Listen, I'm a believer in that. You know, actually, the Studio Arc, Pastor John, that's who owns the studio. You know, so me being around them over the last couple of years has really instilled a lot into me on that, and I use it in everyday life because we all go through tough situations. Mm-hmm. What would you say throughout this music journey has been the toughest situation, the biggest obstacle that you had to overcome?
Death.
Yeah.
Not in, but it
in personal life, but it affected. I totally get it.
My music.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
the biggest one.
Yeah. So we're just gonna talk about that just ever so briefly because I know it's tough. I lost my mom last year, and that's where I started catching most of my anxiety. But at the same time, it gave me a sense of clarity on life because it made me really realize that one day our loved ones, including ourselves, is not going to be here. So latch on to the people that you love and love on them. You know, what would you say you took positive from that?
Exactly what you said.
Yeah.
It kind of made me appreciate stuff. Things and people.
Yeah.
More. Like, it helped me like keep pushing. Like I had like that part where I was grieving.
Yeah, of course, you have to do
I had
that.
to realize like, okay, that person's gone. I still gotta live on for them.
That's right.
So I still gotta do what I gotta do.
Absolutely, because that's what they'd want you to do. And that's what I try to tell people. I'm like, everything that we go through, you have to find the positive in it. When you learn to do that, man, your life's going to change.
Right.
You know, because some people sit around and they make excuses for everything. It's like, you got to stop doing that. Figure out why you need to be doing it. Figure out your why. Yeah. What's your why?
Exactly. Why?
What is your why? Why is Jon Banks who he is? Why? What's your why?
I got a lot to prove. I got a daughter.
Yeah.
I got like a family depending on me. That's my why.
Yeah. That's deep, bro. You gotta keep stuff like that. Do you do positive affirmations?
What do you mean by that?
Like I wake up in the morning. The first thing I do is I thank God for another day. That's the first thing I do. But then the positive affirmations, I tell myself every day, man, today's going to be a great day. Today ain't no one going to stress me out. Today's going to be productive. Those are those positive affirmations that you start your day with, because how you start your day sets the tone for the rest of the day. Mm-hmm. Try it. Get up in the morning and talk positive to yourself.
Somebody told me about that like 2 days ago, but they were talking about manifesting, writing in the journal.
And that too, absolutely. Yeah. There's different ways that you can do it, because you do have to manifest, because what you throw out there to the universe, it's going to come back. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you being here.
Yeah, no problem.
Most definitely. Of course, before we get up out of here, tell everybody, where they can follow the movement, where they can keep up with you.
You can follow me on Twitter, IG at YUNG MFN Jug JUUG.
The MFN.
Yeah, I didn't say it. You see?
I know that's right. He kept it clean, my dog.
I almost was about to say it though.
You did good. Hey, but you know what? I would have just sent you the video and told you to bleep it out. Oh. You are an engineer. I'm just playing with you. I'm just playing with you. Next, I know you talk to the people and you let people know you was grateful for them. Like anybody in particular you want to shout out to?
Lily.
Shout out to Lily. She's so beautiful, y'all.
Yeah, because that's what helped me start engineering.
You gotta have a good woman around you.
Yeah. Paul, McFly Beats, he helped me a lot. Carl, KV Records.
Yeah.
Helped me out a lot. Yeah. About it.
That's dope, man. Last but not least, we are live on the Industry's Most Wanted podcast. Me and this dude right here go way, 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 way back. You know what I'm saying? Back in the time. Been working a long time. You was coming out to the Industry's Most Wanted showcases. You know what I'm saying?
I was just talking about that in the car.
And I'm so grateful. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're one of those artists that's just really stayed down. And I'm grateful for that. That's why I wanted you to come through tonight. But let everybody know what makes you the Industry's Most Wanted.
My sound. My dedication. Yeah, my sound, my dedication. My sound is different. Yeah. Very different. I can do it all.
Straight like that.
Yeah.
I believe it, bro. I appreciate you once again. Give me some love. Boom. Thank you for being here. Thank you for bringing this beautiful young lady through. I'm about to get her contact information. You know what I'm saying? We gotta get to work. But we up out of here, y'all.